As you can imagine, a very tough night for the men and women in blue in the city of Detroit. This morning, we want to bring you up to speed on the latest developments.
Well, that tragic scene happening last night as Detroit police officers respond to a home invasion call. This all happened in the area of Wyoming and Pembroke near Chippewa. Once officers were inside the home, the suspects started shooting with a high-powered rifle.
And here's what we know so far about that shootout. The officer who died was an 18-year veteran of the force. Another officer with the department for 3 years was shot in the leg. He's in the hospital right now in temporary serious condition. And
the suspect was also shot by officers and is now in custody. He too is recovering at the hospital.
With so many heavy hearts, of course, hundreds of police officers showed up at the scene and at the hospital to show their support.
7 Action News reporter Allie Hotsey is live this morning at Sinai Grace Hospital with more on how this tragedy unfolded. Allie?
Well, both officers were brought here to Sinai Grace Hospital, and if you take a look behind me, there's at least 3 police cruisers here this morning, and there has been a flow of police officers coming here to show their support. Here's what we know about this tragic situation so far. Officers were called to a home on Wyoming, just 2 blocks south of 8 Mile on Detroit's west side last night at 7:20. Chief Craig says when officers arrived, people were running from the home, telling police there was a man inside with a rifle. Chief Craig says officers cleared the first floor of the home. They went downstairs to check the basement level. When the 4 officers came down the stairs, that's when Chief Craig says the suspect started shooting with a high-powered rifle. A Detroit police officer who's been on the force for 3 years was shot in the leg. An 18-year veteran was shot in the neck. Both officers were rushed here to Sinai Grace Hospital in police cruisers. The officer shot in the leg was conscious and moving when he arrived at the hospital. The 18-year-old veteran was pronounced dead here at the hospital.
He was loved. I mean, right here today, we have probably in excess of 275 officers that came out to show their support. Very difficult, and unfortunately, I've been to a number of these. This is probably the one where I've seen this number of officers come out and support.
Police say the suspect fled the scene. He was found a few blocks away on Kentucky Street. He was then taken to Sinai Grace Hospital in temporary serious condition. As for a motive behind this deadly shooting, Chief Craig tells us they believe this could be a domestic situation and that the suspect was looking for his girlfriend. It's still unclear if the girlfriend lives inside the home where this tragedy happened.
Now, Allie, do we know the name of the police officer who was killed last night in the line of duty?
At this point, we don't. We are being told he's an 18-year veteran, and Chief Craig says we will know that information in due time.
All right, thank you very much. Allie Hotsey live at Sinai Grace Hospital for us this morning. Well, stay with 7 Action News throughout the morning, as well as WXYZ.com for continuing coverage of this deadly police shooting. All right, let's get a check.